Everything's
Mm.
live and working, and we won't have to redo this.
I hope everything is working. Definitely hope everything is working. Seems to be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. So on
Yeah.
that note, I'm like so not even used to this anymore. I don't even know where to look on the
Look at
cameras.
me. Supposed to look at me.
Um,
Supposed to look
uh,
at your handsome husband.
guys, he's clearly
Just
feeling my
check me
husband.
out.
My handsome
Check me out.
husband is feeling extra shady today because all of
Mm.
a sudden the shades came out. All right.
Mm. Shades came out.
Yes, but welcome back to the Fast Lane Lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fast lane lifestyle. We got some fast people up in this, living a nice
I am
lifestyle.
Alyshia Powell for our first time listeners or anyone that's tuning in for the visual part of it.
Mm.
Alyshia Powell, and this is Sub 10
Yeah,
King over
yourself a
here.
Powell. Big up, pop, pop.
Yeah,
Gunshot.
so
Yeah, man. Well, you see, I'm all dressed in my track suit. It's sport. It's like a sports week, sports month.
that's what you kind of
This
wish
is
that
like,
that sports day was about.
yeah, man. This is like sports month, and a lot of sporting activities going on in
That's
Jamaica
true.
and outside of Jamaica as well. As everyone know, champs. Our boys and girls championship just ended here in Jamaica, and it was electric.
It was epic.
It was electric, and people always up until this day, I get this question: Why are Jamaicans so fast? Why?
Yes,
This is
why?
why, we have a good system. We have a lot of people are mainly focused on like the high school level,
Right.
but you just have to take a step back and see how, like, the primary schools and the what do you call it, prep
Yeah,
prep
basic. Is that
schools.
like basic school? I don't know. There's
Prep
too
school,
many. Okay,
primary
okay.
school. Basic school
Right.
is for like our
Okay.
smaller
Right. Okay.
kids. Yeah. So even no, but even his age. So you'd say
Yeah.
preschool,
Yes.
and basic school, yeah,
So
would
anything like
be
3 and up, they start.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Like two
2 and up.
and up. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I started at two. Remember I started at two.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so two and up. And to see how well organized they are at the school at this level with the kids. Yeah, this is exactly why Jamaicans are so fast. We have a good base. They start from very young.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are running from very young. I've met some people over the years who always say, "Oh, I used to run in school. I used to run in
Right.
school."
Right. Right.
But that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
They used to
Because
run when they were 3 and 4 years
it's
old.
part of the experience,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
growing up in Jamaica, I guess it's just a natural part of
yeah.
it.
It's like a running
Yeah.
country.
And I think with that, even me just being there for like champs and then being there for sports day for the kids as well,
Mm-hmm.
it's like automatically you kind of get to spot out a lot of talent. And then I guess from then you just watch how they progress and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff and, put into it and
Mm-hmm.
grow that seed and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So, because I didn't really have a sports day like that when I went to school in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
that's definitely what differentiates
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica from anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The country, everybody else here, the parents, everyone really puts
Everybody's into it.
into
Everybody,
it.
like how
Because
basketball is to America,
yes, and
track and
American
field,
football,
track and field is like that to us, and football,
right? Football
soccer,
slash
yeah,
soccer.
yeah. So it starts from a very young age, and then they transition into high
Mm-hmm.
school.
Mm-hmm.
So you have coaches go to like prep champs, primary champs, and the scout athletes for high school.
Right. Wow.
So it's just a different
Wow.
system,
Yeah, no
complete
wonder.
different
No
system.
wonder champs, they're running some
Mm,
what was it, like world breaking
yeah,
times?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah. But the thing is, like, I
insane.
didn't really start at that age, but I kind of go through the system because we have sports day.
Right.
We have sports day. We have different like regional champs and all that stuff. So we have some small stuff that I used to attend. as a child, growing up, so it's just that's where it starts from. So
Mm-hmm.
if you ask why Jamaicans are so fast, yes, we eat food and we eat yam and all that stuff. We eat all of that
Yes.
stuff. But it's not that's really not it, because if that was the case, why you find, fast people from other countries?
Right. So you
It's
say it's
not
not just in the food, but
no,
it's
it's not
in
only,
the
yeah.
the effort everybody takes to
Yeah, yeah,
put that
it's
work
just a
in.
base, yeah.
But
Start from basic.
are you excited about like the future for Jamaica? Like seeing what happened at Champs and
Of course, I'm always excited about the future for Jamaican track and field. Even when I was still competing,
right.
I was very excited because we were always looking, who is the next young kid is going to come and challenge us.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just always excitement for me, to always have Jamaica on top,
Mhm.
in any event, not even sprinting.
Right.
Yeah, these last few years we've been doing well in the throwing events and the
Mhm.
field events and jumping,
Right,
and
jumping.
all of that stuff. We're always doing well in field events. We had good high jumpers,
Mhm.
and they consider hurdles field event. You know that?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, actually,
Hurdles, yeah,
really?
yeah. They consider hurdles
Because
field
you're running
events.
and jumping, you're running like you're
But is
sprinting.
but is to me it's on the track. But I guess
Oh
because they
wow.
run and jump.
That's
Yeah, I
I
learned
didn't
this.
expect that. That's interesting.
I learned this like maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, they consider hurdles field events. But we've always had people, running well, in all the other events. And
Right.
it kind of, for me, I'm kind of disappointed in how people react to certain things, because you have athletes earning medals in other events
Mhm.
apart from 100 meters, but they
Mhm.
don't get the recognition. They don't get all the excitement and all that stuff, that they really deserve. It's just really 100 meters and
Mhm.
200 meters,
Mhm.
they create all the excitement about. But yeah, 400, we have great 400 hurdlers. We have 400 runners. You
Right.
know,
For sure.
Sherika Jackson
Mhm.
been medaling
Right.
in the 400-meter all these years.
Right.
You know, um, 2015, 2016, I think
Mhm.
2017. She was always on the medal podium, but
Right.
nobody
For
didn't
for the
give her the
for the
recognition until
400.
she started running the 100-meter. So she has always been there. You have Sherika Williams, who medal at 2 Olympic Games, I think, and World Championships, and she didn't get the recognition because it wasn't first place, you know. But people have always been, and I realized that,
Saf is
yeah,
a little sick, so if you hear him be a
yeah, if you
little
hear me sniffing up a little bit, but not, I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just pointing out a few
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
You know, we have touchback like Sherika Jackson, right? Not Sherika Jackson, but in the running
Mhm.
events,
Mhm.
you have in the 100 meters. If you don't finish 1, 2, 3,
Right.
um, 2 and 3 don't count.
Okay.
If you finish first place and then another Jamaican finish third place, it's only first place
That they see.
that they
But
see.
it like the
But they
clean sweep.
only, yeah, when they get the clean sweep, that's when everybody win.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you can correct me if I'm wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I notice.
Right.
In I mean, I think in not only, it's not really Jamaicans, it's just in general.
Right.
It's either first or last or clean sweep.
Right.
When you make a clean sweep, everybody like, oh,
Everybody
all
goes
three Jamaicans, all
crazy.
three, Americans. But if somebody separate first place and second place, and probably Jamaica or whatever finish third place dead.
I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I'm
struggle.
like,
Yeah, third place dead. But people need to recognize all these athletes. Whether you finish second or third or first, or fourth. Just to make a finals. Yeah, struggle, babe.
I'm
Need
struggling.
me need me to help you with the microphone. All right. Better now?
Yeah, I think it's better now.
You need to stop messing with the
I
microphone.
didn't mess with it, it just fell. All right.
Okay. But yeah, man, just recognize the athletes, no matter what, because it's a lot of effort goes into training and all that stuff. And not because an athlete does great at champs. If they do, if it doesn't, it's not always it's going to, translate or what is it? It's going to like they're going to move on to doing the same exact thing
Mm-hmm.
on the international level because it's a bigger, when you go international, everything just get bigger now. You have people running the same times in other countries,
Mm-hmm.
people, coming in with faster times as
So,
well.
so what you're just saying
So
is at least appreciate like the top 5 or
yeah,
the
man, I appreciate.
obviously you give all props to whoever is coming
Hmm.
first and their dynasty that they're creating, but don't forget like the
Yeah,
top fives
bec-
and the
because a lot of
underdogs.
times you'll find athletes does well at champs. They do great at champs and they go to the senior level and they do okay. But people still are like, yo, what happened to that athlete? What happened to that athlete? They're
Right.
still running and they're running real well, but you just
Mm-hmm.
have other athletes across the world who are actually fast too.
Right.
And they're doing well and we were doing so well for a number of years, and there has to be a little dip
Mm-hmm.
and then we rise again.
Right. Okay.
So I think we're on the rise now.
Right.
We are getting a lot more athletes, but I think we just need to protect the athletes and just need to guide them in the right way. I would say, before you focus on all the glow up,
Mm-hmm.
try and focus on, showing up and, making it big, on at the championships and at the
Mm-hmm.
circuit. Not focus on, looking pretty or all the fancy
Or don't
cars
focus too
and
much on all of the fame.
yeah,
Just
don't focus on the sponsorship and you can buy this and buy that.
mm-hmm.
No, focus on training. Training is where it is.
So train like whatever you have, you don't even have it.
Yeah.
Train like you're not number
Yeah,
one,
they
even if
say
you are
exactly, and
number one.
they say if you're number one, you have to train like you're number two.
Right.
Number three. So yeah, you just have to continue to work hard. Work
So
the hard work never stop.
would that be one of the advice you would give to any of the young athletes that did really well at champs,
Hmm.
Carifta games,
Yeah,
all
man, I
of
would give
that?
I would give that advice to everyone,
Right.
every single athlete, no matter young or old. Just continue training as if you're second best. Because there's always someone trying to come and take your crown,
That's true.
Always,
I
always.
feel like today is just not a good day with this.
You want it right here?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't even know, but the thing is, you didn't. When you watch this video, I didn't even touch it. It just keeps flopping down.
Your breath, you breathe too hard in it. It's not breath, it's breathe. You're breathing
You
too
want to
hard.
live?
Yeah, for
All
a very long time.
right.
For a very long
So
time.
get it right,
Mm.
guys.
Yeah, so all my athletes out there, just you have to stay focused, and stay on the grind. Everything will come. Everything will come. If you're a girl, marriage will come. If you're a man, all the girls will come.
Everything in
So
life.
everything it takes time. You know what I mean? Don't rush. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Don't rush anything. Just take your time. Progress. Work on. Whatever your weaknesses. If you can't start good, you focus on your start a lot. If you can't finish good, you focus on that a lot.
So whatever the weakness is, build
Yeah.
that weakness into a strength.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Don't focus on your competitor weakness. It's not boxing. You cannot control what your competitor do.
Mm,
So in boxing you can practice their style and try to
right.
counteract
Right.
that. In running, each man to themselves. So you have to perfect your own craft. You can't
Wow.
fix something to try and counteract the next person because it won't work. The next person won't focus on you.
Guys, he is preaching and speaking some gems. I
Mm,
think that's one of the best advice I've actually heard you give so far
mm-hmm.
in terms of like focus on what you're doing. It's not
Yeah.
boxing. Cause I think
Mm,
a lot of times it's like you hear competitors be like, oh, I watch your videos. I watch how
mm-hmm.
you run. I watch this. I
Mm-hmm.
watch that. But yeah, you can watch that, but like you
Mm-hmm.
just said, it's not boxing. So what you
Yeah.
should be probably watching is your videos to see what are you doing wrong? Where do I,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with watching other people's, but
Mm-hmm.
don't focus too much
Yeah,
on
like yeah, but like if you are, say for instance, I know I'm a great starter.
right.
So if somebody wants to start like I do,
Mhm.
nothing is wrong with
Right.
watching my videos, But if you're going to watch my starts to see if you can try and counteract it, or try to do something to let me not start well,
Right.
you
Okay.
know, yeah. So yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
man.
it. That's
Yeah.
what I
So,
mean.
so nothing is wrong with watching your competitor. If, like I say, if focus on your weakness. If you can lift your knee good, you watch some videos and practice. You know, try and imitate somebody in
Mhm.
a sense. You know.
I think that's great, solid advice,
Mm. Yeah,
honestly.
and don't pressure. I remember after breaking the world record, um, I think the week after. I went and I ran and I hurt my groin. You know, but the thing is my body did something that it has never done before.
Mm.
It went through, to run so fast, it take a toll on your body. So the body needs rest. Body needs rest. And a lot of times, what what people consider rest, it's not really rest, because not competing doesn't necessarily means you're resting,
Right.
because a lot of athletes, the day after them finish competing, the coach have them on the track
Mm.
training. So it's like they're still back at training. They didn't get time to recover and all that stuff. So rest. What I consider rest is real rest. You have to let your body recover. At least you get a 2 day
I
body
was
recover. You start. You
Yeah, I was
do
about to
some.
ask, like, because I know obviously with training, how
Mm,
oft like what's a minimum good amount of rest that an athlete
mm.
can say, okay, I'm
Yeah,
getting
because
this.
one thing is a lot of coach think that if you sit down for 2 days, 2 days you get slow or you lose
Okay.
all of your fitness or whatever. What happen when you're traveling? Sometimes we travel for even 3 days, no training. I remember traveling to Europe, and it took us about 3 days because we had to miss the flight,
Yeah.
and then we had to take the train overnight, sleep overnight, then take our next train. Then when we get to where we're staying, we had to leave our bags and take our next train to. This was the
Mhm.
time when there's a lot of things going on in London, and we couldn't travel with any electronics, so
Mm.
we had to go on trains. So it's about 3-4 days we're traveling, and then we when we got to the track meet now, we the next day was the competition, and I went to the competition and I broke the world record.
Right.
So it's like I wasn't, if you rest your body for 2 days, 2-3 days, you won't get slow,
Why do you
and I don't
think
think you lose your fitness.
I was about to say, why do you think coaches think that? Because clearly for you, having to go that long route was really like
Mm,
a blessing in disguise. As much as maybe when you were having to
mm,
go through that travel,
mm,
you were probably frustrated and thinking, oh, this is so tiring, but really and truly giving your body that time to rest.
mm,
It needed it that
mm,
look at what happened when you ran. So why do you
mm.
think coaches feel
The thing is, a lot of coaches don't like to listen to the athletes because, I mean, you have some athletes that lazy and don't want to train. And honestly, I was lazy. I was lazy. But sometimes the athletes are genuinely tired and
Okay.
want to rest. But nobody listens. The coach figures that they knows what's best for you. And a lot of times, they do, but sometimes when an athlete come to you, they come to you genuinely and say, "Yo, I'm tired." because sometimes we're so tired. It's like your legs feel like you take like 100 needles and just pushing our muscles.
Oh, that sounds.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like, we got so used to that. Yeah, and then we go to training and we try and train through it. Sometimes when they get warm up, like the pain gone,
Mm,
the pain go away. But then afterwards, when the body get cold again, you still feel all of that. Sometimes you get so sore, like you're trying to you have a competition and you're trying to compete, and it's like you can't run your best. You're
mm,
carrying your best just because of fatigue, and soreness. And sometimes, you don't lose any through the soreness, you don't really lose anything. But trying to run through that will
mm-hmm,
cause you to hurt yourself,
mm.
and damage yourself. Sometimes you just fatigue, your muscles just going through shock.
Is it like heavy, like a
Mm.
heaviness?
Yeah,
Do you
man,
feel
your foot,
heavy?
your legs heavy, but your legs heavy, sore. I mean, a lot of people feel some similar soreness when they just start gym,
Mm, but
but for us, it's a little different,
that's next
because
level.
we're actually pushing our body, past the limit that it's supposed to, that it's supposed to be. So you'll find us, we get so used to it, get so used to breaking down our body so much. It's like nothing to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to training. We know that once we warm up, the pain will go away.
Mm,
You go to a competition, even if you're sore, once you warm up your body a certain way, the pain will go away. But it's still there. It's still there, because I mean, maybe some doctors and stuff would have to explain to you, but they say when you
right.
each time when you train
Yeah.
or you do something, like you must get some small tears.
Jeez.
So that's where you find the soreness. It's like the small
Oh,
tears,
I
and
think I
that's why they want you to
actually.
ice.
Oh, makes
Like when you
sense.
get anything, any injuries or anything, you ice or whatever. If you feel a little cramp
Mm-hmm,
or whatever,
mm-hmm.
like I say, you need some real
Yeah.
doctors to
Of
explain.
course. Maybe we need to do an episode where we do have like whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
therapist or
Mm-hmm.
someone to come down and
Yeah.
explain
So
because
that's why,
I.
yeah, that's why I always say we need, like, I mean, and a lot of times people will get offended when I say, we don't really have all of the facilities and everything here, because we used to always travel.
Mm,
It's just like, a lot of things where, we have a lot of doctors in Jamaica, but for certain surgeries
right. So it's
you have
like
to fly away.
you're.
So it's same thing with track and field. So for some treatments, we we have to leave Jamaica. So if we can get, those training here in Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
and those equipment here in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, I think we'll be more than capable of, keeping the athletes healthy and all
Makes
that stuff.
sense.
So it's not to say we don't have good, chiropractors
Or
or good
therapist.
therapists
Yeah.
or massage therapists and all that stuff. You don't want to get it confused. You have
Right.
massage therapists,
That's
you
true.
have
That's true.
physiotherapists, you have a
Yes.
chiropractor, you have all of that different stuff, and people get offended easily when when you say certain things. But definitely, even those therapists want to go away to practice and to come to better their skills,
Mm-hmm.
so that the athletes don't have to fly out of Jamaica and go get treatment anywhere else. Because I mean, all of us, we did it. The big athletes, we've done it. Like I remember running at trials and hurt myself, fly out the same day, come back and go trials, fly out the same day, go somewhere, go get treatment, and get something to get rid of the pain and come back Jamaica the same day and go trials again
Mm-hmm.
the evening and compete.
Yeah, that's quite
So
hectic on your
yeah,
body.
yeah, exactly. So if we had all of that experience here, we need it because I mean we have the best athletes. We have had the best athletes in the world for
Mm-hmm.
a while now. And we need all of that.
Right. So,
And up until this day you find people leaving Jamaica and still leaving
right.
Jamaica to go and get treatment. But yeah, we have good therapists here, but just the level.
Levels and I guess
Hmm
equipment and they
mm
do the best with what they have,
hmm Yeah, 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 yeah. And some sports injuries just different.
Mm-hmm.
Like the normal person walking on the road and twist them ankle or them twist something. Yeah, you get the treatment. But when an athlete
Mm-hmm.
twist or pull something, it's a different thing, complete different thing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, man.
Because even the type of soreness that a normal gym person like myself that
Mm,
works out all the time feels, it's like, to me, I can imagine it's probably like 100 times worse
mm,
than and
mm,
what you're saying an athlete feels and
mm.
has to work through that
Yeah,
pain.
let me
So
give you an example. Right? You have in Jamaica, we have all of these top car dealerships.
mm-hmm.
Right? We have we call it Mercedes, BMW, Audi. All of these cars and everything. But if I brought a Formula One car to Jamaica, let's say I brought a Formula One car that Lewis Hamilton drive, which is Mercedes
Okay.
AMG. Mercedes dealers couldn't work on it. So you need special people. Only special people can work on those cars.
Mm.
So it's pretty much athletes are like Formula One cars.
Mm-hmm.
We when we get a look at injury, it different from when normal everyday
Like a regular, yeah.
people get an injury. It's
Just
different.
alone, just from the muscles. Like, you have muscles in places where I'm like, how do you even have that muscle? So
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
like
that
I like them.
analogy that analogy is like a good way to
Mm-hmm.
someone that's not really understanding what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like, I think that was
Mm-hmm.
a good analogy.
Yeah, and I mean, uh, here in Jamaica, we like to act like we have everything, but we don't have everything.
Okay.
We have a lot, but we don't have everything. And people will go, "Oh yes, we have that. We have that." No,
You're talking more about what quantity,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
the quality of
Mm-hmm.
it. Quality of it, and even if you have it, there's always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I know you guys can take my word and go twist it up. All of you guys
No,
can
but
take my words, twist it up, and try turn somebody against me.
that's what I feel like a lot lately, that a lot of us when we're listening to each other, it's like you're either making up your own version of it,
Mm-hmm.
or you automatically see it as someone's complaining. Well, my grandfather had to walk through 1,000 miles and walk on hot
Mm-hmm.
stones and nails and this and that. The whole point for that to happen is so they walk so you could run, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when someone's talking, instead of just, oh, you complain too much, or you live this lifestyle, you shouldn't even
Mm-hmm.
complain, or this and that. Pain or whatever it is looks different
Mm-hmm.
to everyone, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this generation, if we don't need to suffer in silence, or if you can make a change,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we have these platforms so
Mm-hmm.
you can talk
But
and
yeah, and the thing
you
is,
know.
I'm speaking from an athlete point of view. Like you on the outside, it's like you're gonna say, that is not anything, man. That is not nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't understand. You have never felt it. How can you downplay?
Right,
I'm
right.
speaking on behalf of the athletes.
No, I
You
get
know what I
it.
mean? So, it's what we go through as athletes and it's what we want as athletes.
And you're always being an advocate for room for improvement.
Hmm.
You're an advocate
I mean,
for better,
and this is why a lot of the athletes are afraid to talk because they're afraid of all the backlash and what people are gonna then say in return and say you're ungrateful and all that stuff. When all them want to talk, because a lot of times when I post things, you see all of the athletes under the comment, true, 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 and who don't comment will call me and say, "Oh, true, this,
Mhm.
true, that." I find even American athletes DMing me and said, "True,
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
I'm saying is true."
It's kind of like a universal
Yeah, it's a universal
struggle.
thing. Yeah, exactly. People don't understand athletes.
Well, you guys are a rare breed.
Yeah.
To get up and be, whether it's top
Mhm.
5 or number 1 in the
Mhm.
world or in the universe,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, and but one last thing before I finish talking about you know
No,
athletes.
I like
Although I'm
this.
in my
I
sweatsuit.
love this session because I
Yeah.
think fast lane lifestyle. We need to have
Mhm.
some fast
Mhm.
topics.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I wear my sweatsuit for a reason, so I mean, but I would really encourage the athletes to school, focus on school, focus on, sorry,
Man.
focus on, and getting your degree, or whatever you're doing in school. Just focus on it, because I mean, I think 90% of the time we don't really use it,
Right.
but it's good to have, something to fall back on, because not every athlete is gonna go all the way. I was fortunate enough to get, 20 years out of the sport. Some
Mhm.
athletes get 2, 4, 3, 4 years. Some get 10, which is like the max. When an athlete get 10 years, you know they really did well.
Right.
So not everyone will get to get to that level. The level of stardom, or that level of earning. You
Or
know,
just even longevity, because
yeah,
half of the time you can be the greatest, but you can be
yeah.
plagued with
Yeah,
injuries.
exactly. Sometimes, exactly.
Mhm.
You hit the nail on the head. Sometimes you're the greatest, but you can't get to show your greatness. You have athletes who we know that are supposed to run
Yeah.
fast, run a certain time, but they can't get the chance to show it.
Mhm.
90% of the time is injury. I would
Mm.
99% of the time injury. You have athletes who just can't go through a proper training session. Have athletes they get through a training session, they go to competition, something happen, they get hurt.
Mhm.
It's tough, to go through to train for 9 months. Not 9 months, 11 months.
Is it?
Yeah. 11 months to train, you can get 1 year off, 1 month off.
I was gonna say 1 year
Yeah,
off.
yeah, we get 1 month off. So we train 11 months a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
even that 1 month,
yeah,
is it really
yeah,
one
1 month
month?
I like 2 weeks. And to go to a competition and you get hurt when you get to the competition, or you fast start.
Yeah.
That wicked,
Mhm.
that wicked. So, you just have to appreciate it, and just celebrate the athletes. Just celebrate all the athletes, whether they finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth,
Top
or whatever
10.
it is, eighth. I mean, once they make that finals, because I know at champs, right? At champs, once a school make the finals, them know them gonna get a point.
Mm.
Even if they don't finish last, they're still getting a point to make up for the house. At the championships, you're not getting no points, but you have an athlete in the finals.
Mhm.
I mean, many countries would want to have one athlete in the final. Many countries would want to have one athlete to show up
Right.
at Olympic Games, because you have to run a certain time to qualify to go to Olympics.
Right. And
The
sometimes
time's
some
just getting faster
countries.
and faster every year.
Jeez.
What I mean? I think is, I don't know if it's 10 flat now,
Oh, really?
or 10:05 or something like that. Yeah, in the 100
Wow.
meter and the 200 meter, 20 point, must be two or one.
Wow,
I'm not
wow.
sure, but you have to run qualifying times. It's not to win it's not only to win at trials or whatever it is. You have to qualify to compete. So,
And those are
so
some fast times that there you
mm-hmm,
have to
mm-hmm.
even run to get
How
in.
much how much countries can run? They have people can
Jeez.
run
Right.
10-0,
Yeah.
and we have in Jamaica 100.
Yeah.
You know what
Jamaica's
I
a
mean?
blessed country in
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
So
No, we're blessed. Blessed. So for the athletes, just focus, just stay focused. Don't focus on getting a big contract. Big contract will come easy. When when I was running we turned down so many contracts because I know that we know that we are gonna do something
mhm,
great.
mhm,
So we just waited and waited, and waited, and I broke the world record.
mhm. The
And so it's not like we settle for whatever we can get now. Wait, and the big deal will come.
patience is a virtue,
Yeah,
even though we
that's where
know.
I can respect, I rate my coach,
Right.
because he really is a smart guy.
Mhm.
Sometimes, you know, he can be a jerk, but he's really really a good coach.
Right. He knows what he's
He's
doing. He
yeah,
knows what his athletes
he's
deserves.
really a good coach. You know, um, A lot of times I wish he would listen more, but definitely, I have to big him up. Really a good coach. He saw the talent in me from a very young age, and
Mhm.
he's good at that. He's good as although I've never run a day.
He just has that God
Yeah,
given
yeah,
eye.
yeah.
Is that
Him
eye?
have, him have that, him have that. So I have to always, big him up.
Mhm.
And he gets frustrated when people don't you know, see his ideas
Right.
and stuff. That's why him can't agree with the Jamaica Athletics Federation,
Mm.
because when he wanted them to see his vision, he got ridiculed in a sense. So
Mm.
I think him bitter from that.
Well, I
Mm.
think in a sense he's proven a point in so many different
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Yeah, I mean,
He
he has
has.
created, he
I
has
was just about to
created,
say he's the main sole
yeah.
reason why.
Jamaica is so great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then my Mr. Mills, big up, I have to big up Mr. Mills as well. But yeah, definitely, his vision is what
So
made
anybody watching
Jamaica.
that doesn't know your coach's
Stephen
name,
Francis.
there we go.
Yeah. It was Stephen Francis' vision to
Yeah.
stay in Jamaica and train athletes, and, to build this empire that we have here
Mhm.
in Jamaica. So it was all his idea, you know. So
Round of
I have to big him up.
applause.
I have to big him up.
Iconic.
Hmm. Yeah, man. So yeah, I don't think we talk about sports long enough, or you want to continue? Because I mean, sports day. What
Oh
happened to your
yeah, we
team?
did sports day. My team,
You fast
we
doing the
need a
bed.
little we need to fine tune in, you know?
But guys, I actually got to see my wife run, and
Run with
I
no
told her,
training.
I'm like, yo, if you actually, had continued run, you probably would have been real good, because just watching you run, and you stop run for about 10 years now.
Over probably over 10 years now.
Yeah, and yeah, you
Guys.
stop run at what that? What that?
Bless
On the phone
me.
call?
Bless me, guys. Allergies.
Allergies. Yeah,
Yeah.
you stop run so long, and you look good. You look
Really?
good. Yeah, I'm proud. Like, I'm
Wow.
like, yo, I'm excited to see the future of the kids. With all these genes.
Oh goodness, guys, natural. I haven't like honestly, I haven't ran in God knows how long. So I'm actually quite shocked. I was quite shocked with how
Mm-hmm.
I ran the other day because I didn't really even feel fast. I just was like, okay, all right, just run.
And yeah, it did pretty well
But
though.
it
Did
was
pretty well.
fun. I enjoyed that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, it was like quite exciting to kind of like, it took me back and like when I used
Mm-hmm.
to run high school track and we did our relays
Mm-hmm.
and the good times. So I'm also excited to see if our kids end up taking up the sport because I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm going to just enjoy watching it
Yeah,
because the memories I have from it
yeah.
is,
And at this age at school, I think the kids are more focused on having fun.
oh yeah.
Like, even for our son, like, he was just like, he was having the time of his life.
He was like,
You
this
know.
is not a competition. I don't need to run fast. I'm just going to
Yeah,
have
like,
fun.
it was just fun. I think the sports day was mainly for the parents.
Yeah,
You
parents
know,
showed up for the parents
parents and
race.
teachers.
Yeah, no, I think so
Yeah, it
because
was.
at that age, and I would say the type of personality that our son is,
Mhm.
he's not emotional right now, so he
Mhm.
doesn't even like nothing's not a competition to him. It's more so it's like a joke, like it's
Mhm.
fun.
Mhm.
He will laugh at it, and he just doesn't even understand the competitiveness yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not there yet, but I'm very excited. I mean, like whichever sport I think they choose, they're just
Mhm.
gonna they have some good genes. They should be
Mhm.
able to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's at the right school as well.
Oh yeah, I
So.
really I love
Mhm.
that school. I
Mhm.
love how not only
Traditional.
yes, I love how not only are
Mhm.
they into sports, but
Mhm.
also in the fact of like their academics
Mhm.
and the curriculum is
Mhm.
really, really, really good. So
Mhm.
what they're
And yeah, and
learning.
I know other people are most focused on this new era, this new type of learning and this new things. But I love the traditional way, and that's cool. Sticking to tradition, and I like it.
Yeah, and I
You
think
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I grew up in the traditional way and
Mm-hmm.
I think I turned out, quite fine.
Yeah.
So to each is their own, but for
Mm-hmm.
us that's like what we
Mm-hmm.
value together as a couple, and that's
Mhm.
our some of our traditions that we brought from our family
Mhm.
into our family that we've
Mhm.
started. So I would say
Yeah.
another important thing is before you just have kids with
Mhm.
any and anyone, just make sure you and that person
Mhm.
have some core value beliefs. So at
Mhm.
least even if you're in a co-parenting situation,
Mhm.
it makes it a lot easier because some way somehow there's something in common, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, this won't mean anything to other people, but to to see to see the kids like actually, because a lot of people in their 20s,
Mhm.
teenagers, cannot sing a gospel song. They don't know one gospel song.
Mhm.
And to hear our sons, come from school and can sing a gospel song, and can just recite what he learned,
Right.
at church and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
It's
And
really it's really good. It's a good feeling.
sometimes he picks up the remote and starts preaching
Yeah, start
and
preaching.
does the high and low
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, and I mean, I love that. I love that. And like I said, the kids today, you ask them, something they don't even know what they're talking about. They have no idea. You
Right.
know, um, you
But
know.
yeah, just I would say my main advice is just find someone that you have because then it ends up being such a pull
Mhm.
and tug of war. I guess
Mhm.
that's the word I'm looking for. Because you believe in one thing, the
Mhm.
other person doesn't believe in that, and
Mhm.
then it's like the child is in between and confused. So I
Mhm.
think the main thing I would say is if you're planning to start a family, ask the hard questions like what do you believe in? What's
Mhm.
this? What that? Because guess what? The child ends up being the one that's confused, and everything goes smoother when you have a common ground of
Mhm.
backgrounds. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be the exact similar because opposites attract, but it has to be
Mhm.
one thing. When raising kids, it has to be
Mhm.
one thing that's, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel that way. I'm not an expert, but I
Mhm.
think it makes it like if you're traditional and someone is a
Yeah,
liberal, you know?
a lot of people believe that kids should just like they should just go to school and do whatever they feel like and
But guess
whatever.
what?
No, bruv.
I do you remember last night we were in bed
Mhm.
and I was watching this
Last night?
was it last night or two
It
nights
couldn't be
ago?
last night, cause last night
Whatever this
I was
was. I
knocked
think
out.
he was a um he specialized in pediatric
Mhm.
care, but in the level of like studying kids and their
Oh, it was
characteristics
2 days
and
ago. It was about
was
2 days
it?
ago, yeah.
Okay, so their characteristics and like who they become. And he
Mhm.
said that your child by the age of 7, that's who they're going to become
Mm.
because they've soaked in everything until
Mhm.
the age you have up until first 7 years of life to really be the best version of yourself every day
Mhm.
for your kids because they're mimicking everything. He said even when they're sleeping, the subconscious is programming all of what they're seeing, all of
Mhm.
what they're doing, whatever habits you're teaching them.
Mhm.
And that's why I solely believe in like for me, an example would be no matter what like my parents went through at one point in time, they were separated and all
Mhm.
of that stuff. There was never a time my mom said anything bad about my dad.
Mhm.
And my dad went through a phase where he was a serious like drug addict and
Mhm.
he was, alcoholic and all that. Even when she was taking him to rehab, I didn't even know about any of this stuff, until
Mhm.
now that I'm older. So I truly believe in because guess what? No matter when you get older, you're going to find out who a person is for your
Mhm.
own self, right?
Mhm.
But I really believe that whatever experience you're having with whoever you've had a child with, don't your kids don't need to know about that.
Mhm.
Let them have their own relationship and have their own bond because at that point then it's like you're kind of putting your hurt and frustration, and I always kids are so innocent in that situation. They don't even know what they're in,
Mhm.
until we get older. So for the first 7 years, if you hear something like that and you're a parent, that's always you see how your dad is or you see how your mom
Mhm.
is or this and that, you're hearing
Yeah.
that like,
Yeah.
you
By
know
7 there, it's like they come to themselves in a
yeah,
sense.
so some
Them
people might
start
listen to this.
understanding, a lot more,
Mhm.
and you can have they start having better conversations. I kind of noticed that for real.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
even if someone's listening to this and they might not be like believe in it, it's probably I think Google it, you can
Mhm.
see it there. But even before they touch 7, they're
Mhm.
soaking in everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might
Yeah.
be saying stuff they don't understand.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was saying their subconscious when they're sleeping, that just doesn't turn off.
Mhm.
So when I heard that, I was like, man, it's like I really need to really emphasize on being a better version of myself, like every day, because
Mhm.
I want to.
Yeah, 'cause even when I'm driving and like if I hear certain music start playing,
Mhm.
I would skip it or turn it off. If I hear something curse or whatever, turn it off.
Mhm.
Because I don't want that soaking none of these kids head, I don't,
And
you
like be
know.
vigilant on like what you're
Yeah.
watching. The other day I
Mhm.
seen what they're watching, YouTube Kids.
Mhm.
You have to go in and select certain things that can show
Mhm.
up because some of these things that look like cartoons are actually child pornography.
Yeah,
Like you have
yeah,
to really watch
yeah,
what they're doing. So
yeah.
it's very
Yeah, that's
like
true because and a lot of times like I don't know how these commercials ended up on kids YouTube. Like you specifically download something for the kids or you create something
mhm,
for them
mhm.
and the thing I don't know why YouTube do this.
I don't
It
get it.
specifically say you're for kids.
Right. So why are you having like commercials that
Yeah,
are
and there's some commercials that you see pop up and like what hell?
or even the parts of when they're even on the YouTube Kids Studio. So you
Mhm.
then are trying to avoid them seeing those type of commercials. You go on YouTube Studio
Mhm.
for them to only then can encounter adult
Yeah,
cartoon
yeah,
pornography that they don't even
yeah.
understand. You see a mommy, you see a daddy, like it literally looks like cartoons
Mhm.
because it isn't
But
like it's
yeah,
animated,
yeah.
but they don't even know what they're watching until you sit down and you watch it. Like, why are they even allowing that on kids' YouTube Studio? Like to me, that's just mind blowing.
Yo,
So
YouTube a wicked place, man. I tell you.
I seen that actually. I
YouTube
think
is a wicked place.
for
It's beneficial,
mhm.
but trust me, it's evil as well.
No, for real, you have to be vigilant. And for me, I think that's where I am thankful in a sense to social media because it does expose you to negative things, but
Mm-hmm.
then it also exposes you to like
Mm.
educated
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
like
yeah.
inspirational stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, if it wasn't because of that,
Mm-hmm.
I just even seeing a post about,
Mm-hmm.
hey guys, be very vigilant on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
kids because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is child
Yeah.
pornography. And
I have
so
some sick people out there. And no, with the world I get extra sick too.
even
So
Roblox, when your kids are on
yeah.
Roblox, I don't know if it's still in, but at a certain point, every child is on Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have these pervs that will be on it trying to act like they're a kid and
Mm-hmm.
pretending to communicate. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the way Roblox works. It's like you create
Yeah.
something and then you go
I
in.
saw something at the end that, where a parent had to go on it and cuss somebody.
Yeah, because you go in it, you
Yeah.
dress up your own animation.
Mhm.
You can act like a kid. They think they're talking to a
Mhm.
kid, but it's really like a perv on the
Mhm.
other line. And can we meet up?
Yeah.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't.
yeah,
You have to pay
boy.
attention.
It's like and nowadays like it's like yeah, you would say you wouldn't get them a tablet, but then they probably need tablet for school
Yeah, because now
and all that
everything
stuff.
is,
So now
yeah.
is so that would be one way,
Yeah.
to let them not be exposed to that. But I mean, we're living in a tech world now, so
Yeah, no, they
you
know
know,
it inside and out versus like
yeah, and
us.
they know to turn on TV, they know to do some stuff on the like even the game that I'm playing now, like bro,
Sonic.
yeah,
There's some things I see him
Mr.
do,
Them,
and I'm
Mr.
like, oh, I
Them,
didn't know you do that in the game because I low key play it too when he's sleeping.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
yo, the man good, like every time he get
Kids.
to like the last part of the I mean, when he get to that part, it's difficult,
Mm-hmm. When you have
but
to,
to
yeah.
get there and to do some of the things that these kids brain, bro.
Yeah.
These kids' brain going,
So first
So
7 years. We have the
mhm,
first 7 years to make the best impact
mhm,
and, not put a lot of our hurts and trauma on them
mhm,
as well. Cause
mhm,
trust me, every day is something. Cause like let's say in a sense, sometime last week I spoke to my agent and I mean like in a sense I could kind of sense like I don't know. I guess I'm very what's the thing? Like I always have a feeling
mhm,
for something. And I'm like, normally they would like message me already, like, are you ready to come back? What's going on? And I haven't seen anything of that sort. And mind you, like I'm gonna start this off with saying like I'm starting this session, or let's call this event session.
mhm,
It's a session not for judgment, not
mhm,
for me to place myself like I'm better than anyone, or because I will cover talking about weight and like sacrifices and stuff. So even if you can't relate to me, just listen and maybe shut your eyes, don't look at me.
mhm,
Because in a sense, like whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, maybe not the weight path for a man, but in terms of like sacrifices and getting turned down for stuff and just sometimes being impatient and you're frustrated. So
mhm.
anyway, let's
Oh,
move.
so you say, yeah, being patient.
No, I don't think that I'm being
Just a
impatient.
mess
I
with it.
I think that yeah, like in my industry, everything is kind of like you have to be perfect. And I know there's
Mhm.
some people that are gonna sit here and say, well, you chose that career.
Mhm.
And because I said again, these days, everything you talk about, people just have to they don't want to sympathize with you
Mhm.
or just be even with girls. I've been with a female
Mhm.
circle. It's a lot of like, well, I'm hurting more. I'm this. Yes, we're
Mhm.
all hurting. But what
Mhm.
about we just sat there and just listened to each other?
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't even need to make a comment. It's just
Mhm.
listening
Mhm.
without, making it seem like what you're going through is small.
Sometimes you need actually a day to think about what somebody's saying.
That's
Instead of just
true.
responding same time,
That's true.
you take in what the person say, and you take a day or two, and
Yeah.
then you will understand.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything in that moment, just and
Mhm.
sometimes even just listening without saying
Yeah.
anything, or I know we did this episode where I was talking about, I'm tired and I'm seeing all these comments of like people going back and forth and oh, my grandma had 7 kids and she did this, no nanny, this, that. But guess what? The whole where us black women are tired of being tired.
Mhm.
Like, why do we always have to be the strong black woman? Like, why can't we
Mhm.
be the soft black woman?
Mhm.
So that
Mhm.
stigma, yes, your grandma did that and she's strong. My grandma did that. My mom did that. But I also see the pain in there as well,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not always like a complaint or this or that. Sometimes we just need to let out some steam and
Mhm.
it's fine. And a lot of people can relate to it without making that person feel guilty or
Mhm.
unappreciative. Anyway, I jumped off topic. But yeah, so in terms of my job, like everything has to be perfect. And as of lately, I would say I haven't really been getting like enough sleep. And I would say this round after I had Azaf, I've been struggling a bit, like, in terms of birth controls. I've been through a few different ones. I would say I'm more so I haven't been able to get back to my work body, if you want to
Mhm.
put it that way.
Work with.
I know work weights, right?
Mhm.
So if you look at me, you're like, oh, what's she talking about? She's tiny and this
Mhm.
and that. It's a specific, measurements and like size. You either have to be a specific 2 or a 0.
Mhm.
I would say right now I'm in that awkward phase of like I can fit into some twos and some twos are quite
Mhm.
tight and won't zip up. So I'm not there yet, and I know a lot of it is like hormonal weight, and I would say like when you have 2 under 2, life is different. You don't necessarily have the time to just get up and work out like the
Mhm.
way I would when I just had one,
Mhm.
because you're not as tired, and sometimes it's an invisible load that you have. Because even if you're saying, oh, but you have this help and that, you still have to think. You're the CEO of the entire
Mhm.
family. You have to think for everybody to make sure
Mhm.
everyone's schedule meshes together, this person taking medication, this, all of that stuff, right? So I would say I haven't really been
You
able to
never
be
stop be a mother.
right. And I would say
Mhm.
probably I haven't, I mean, I've been committed, but maybe not like the way I was after I had Ami, because sometimes I'm
Mhm.
just tired too as well. And with my job, it's like perfection. You can't even have a pimple. God forbid you have a pimple.
Mhm.
God forbid you have a blemish. Like, after you have the pimple, the dark spot. Oh no, you can't have that. So yes, fast forward, I spoke to my booker, and mind you, I know it's coming from a place of love because he's supported me
Mhm.
like throughout the whole entire thing. I know even when I got pregnant, like back to back the second time, I was nervous. I'm like, they're gonna drop me. And when I say that, it's because when you get married and you become a mom, it's kind of like, how serious are you gonna take this
Mhm.
career? I would rather take this new face that's like 18 or 16. She has no attachments. She's really just hungry and selfish in her selfish zone right now,
Mhm.
right? So kind of like you get put on the back burner a bit. So I
Mhm.
would say with my booker, he's been quite supportive and like keeping me in tune with everything. So I mean, like what he said wasn't anything I was surprised with. I was because I felt it. I've been saying it recently that I just feel
Mhm.
overwhelmed and tired. Like I look tired. And he just said I was being submitted for a campaign. It was a beauty job and I haven't been sleeping. So, I got a couple breakouts and a blemish, like a dark
Mhm.
spot, and like my under eye bags are just living under my eyes.
Mhm.
Like they're just there, not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that time I think during that time too, you were the most tired because we just got back from Ghana,
Yeah, and I was
and
just
yeah, you're
recovering too.
up and up and up.
And mind you, I just had pink eye. I was just sick
Mhm.
too. So it was
Mhm.
just like 2 days after I was fully back to
Mhm.
like feeding like 100%. I would say I probably was 80%
Mhm.
at that time. So anyway, you never know when something's gonna
Mhm.
they're gonna call, ask you for a self tape or whatever. So, he just said you don't look like your best self. We'll just give you like a month to get back to like where you're at or where you normally are. We can reconvene sometime in like late May
Mhm.
because summer is always a good time as well. And I guess in that moment, like, yes, I already knew how I felt and how I looked, but to know that your job is just solely based on like how you look,
Mhm.
um, body weights, you can't even be a human, have a pimple. And this is not anything geared towards my booker because I have so much
Mhm.
love and respect for him. It's just geared towards the industry
Mhm.
that why do we have to be so perfect all the time when that's
Mhm.
not even a reality of most women? Most
Mhm.
of these women that buy the products or go shopping are like real women with real bodies. Why
Mhm.
do we need to look like we're preteens with
Mhm.
preteen skin or in the teenage phase where we haven't even fully developed yet, right? They say it's changing, but it's like still not
Mhm.
fully there yet.
No,
But
it changing. It to me it changing in a sense where
where they're being more inclusive to
they
other.
only booking like they only doing like celebrities, American celebrities and all
Mhm.
that stuff.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
everything now is in terms of like branding, who you are, what you're doing.
Mm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
would say to me that was like it took a little toll on me
Mm.
after I got off that phone call. I guess like I wouldn't say maybe not insecurity, but a little big disappointment and like sadness
Mhm.
because I would say like I've been blessed. I'm blessed with a amazing, handsome, sexy husband. Two very beautiful boys. But then like in everything in life, you don't sometimes you feel like you're losing at stuff. Like I would
Mhm.
say for me, being here in Jamaica and like with my job, I would say sometimes I feel like I'm losing more than winning because I'm always taking some losses in terms of like bookings, in terms of career, like because I have to you have to prioritize, and when you're a mom, you're either gonna win at career. Sometimes you can't win at the same time with both.
Mhm.
You're either gonna win at your career, and then you're either gonna win at like the mom part. It can't be even. So sometimes I'm gonna miss out on like the mom parts of like special moments, like sports, if it's a
Mhm.
sports day or they're competing somewhere, or I'm here now, I'm not sleeping, I'm tired. So I'm missing out, let's say, on a what could have been like a beauty campaign job. So sometimes it's like the sacrifices you might feel, I guess sometimes for me, it's like I feel like what's the word? Suffocating in a sense, because it's like and I think also we should be allowed to like mourn and grieve like sacrifices and changes as well, because at a certain point, like, yes, I chose to get married, I chose to have
Mhm.
kids, so obviously with that I knew that there would be some type of change, but maybe I just wasn't mentally also prepared for so much so soon.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah.
cry about it, like sometimes I
Yeah.
cry in the shower. It's
Mhm.
okay to grieve that.
Mhm.
But then I also think in a sense too, maybe it could be God telling me like, hey, all those business plans I have in plans, like
Mhm.
you've written it down in your
Mhm.
journal. Maybe it's time to really take that leap of faith and get
Mhm.
it done. Cause
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you know, it it's like you knew that there were gonna be some sacrifices, some stuff that you would have to work on, but you didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't expecting it because after the first one you got back,
Yeah.
you snapped back like, in 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like you were in your head, you were like, oh,
Right.
after this one, yeah, I'll be fine, and but I guess that it's taking a lot longer than you had expected,
Yeah, and I
So,
think for me it's like so I get emotional when I talk
hmm
about this because like sacrificing is not always the easiest thing.
hmm
Like sacrifices come with losses as I've said. And then for me, I'm the type of woman that I think that space was a space for me where I wouldn't say I didn't have to prove myself because regardless, like you're competing against so many other women and other models that are beautiful, that are talented
hmm
and all that. But I think it was like a space for me where in a sense, like when I go on set, people don't know who I am. They don't
hmm
know, oh, you're a Safa's wife, or
hmm hmm
where that's a kind of like a label I have. And it's not a negative label, but that was just a space that was just my
Mhm.
space, So whether you're watching this, you're like, oh, but I don't see her on any of these big campaigns or any of that. I did really well for
Mhm.
myself, and it was a space where I was growing and like doing so well. I guess in a sense, you can kind of say like I was really one of the money girls where
Mhm.
I really did
I mean,
well.
when I go to New York, we walk around and see a face all over New York.
Yeah,
So
so I was very
I also
proud of
see it.
like what I was
Mhm.
accomplishing, and I also still feel like I didn't get to the heights of like
Mhm.
where I know I could have been or
Mhm.
could be, not really giving up on it necessarily. But I guess just sometimes it's just hard because it's hard to do so much when I'm not in New York. So
Mhm.
it does get me sad sometimes, and sometimes it's
Mhm.
okay to mope because it's not always gonna be like a happy day. So in terms of whether you're a mom, a dad, or just, you either you have to sacrifice for family, you can't do your dream job because you have to go and work somewhere else because you need to help them
Mhm.
financially. It could
Mhm.
be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be my story in like modeling, but just in terms of relating to like
Mhm.
sacrifices and knowing that you just have to work through the pain. Patience is a virtue. Pray through it, even though sometimes I just want to scream and be like, why God, that I prayed that I want a soft life and I've been praying about things going smoothly, and maybe sometimes it needs to like, have some bumps and curves and stuff for it to get to where I'm at. But I guess also in a sense for me, it's also learning that I'm learning to accept that I'm not I'm getting older.
Mhm.
My metabolism might not be like the way it was, but where for me, I necessarily know that a lot of it is
Mhm.
hormonal weight due to
Mhm.
different birth controls, trying to find, can we get
Mhm.
this together to find some good ones?
Mhm.
Um, that, but I would also say like whatever it is that you're in, no matter what, you would always come out of it. Whether it's like you being a lawyer, you might have like mental
Mhm.
exhaustion, or you just are a therapist. Like everything has their good and bad side. Where I would say for me, sometimes I'll probably look in the mirror and hate what I see, which is my body. And it's like how I work out so hard.
Mhm.
But I guess I think in a sense I might have a condition called body dysmorphia,
Mhm.
because what I see is not
No
what
one,
you see.
no
Like
one.
I
I
will
see.
feel like I literally will
Mhm.
feel I don't feel good. It takes
Mhm.
a while for me to be
Because
like
I
I feel
mean,
like
if
myself.
I mean for
I
your
feel like I have to
job,
suck in my belly.
mm,
It's just so much pressure, you
yeah,
know?
your job, different requirement. You know, so I
Yeah.
understand
And
that
then when
part.
you're a mom of two competing,
Mm,
not competing, but being in a circle of like where women they don't even have kids, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Of course, you're gonna prefer one that doesn't have kids,
Mhm.
stretch marks, all of that stuff. But yeah, so I guess this is a session
You'll get
of
there,
me
babe.
being
Because
vulnerable.
for yeah, for the thing is, you. I mean, you have ambitions, too, you know.
Mhm.
You have ambitions and you have dreams, and you know that's what you're working towards. You're a model, and you wanted to accomplish you want to accomplish certain things in your job. It's just like me. When
Mhm.
I was running track and field, I wanted to do a lot of things. I managed to get to 97 sub tens,
Mhm.
and I was like, the next three.
Right.
I mean, the next three is fine. I've done a lot. So I would say for you is like you want to get as close as possible to where you
Mhm.
wanted to be. And then if you don't reach to the top, then you'll be fine. But you just need a chance to get back, to
Yeah.
where on road to what you want to accomplish.
Right. I think yeah,
It just
that's
taking a lot of time.
I think a lot of
But
time
mm,
and frustration
mm.
because it's not just about me alone,
But I mean,
anymore.
honestly, I mean, maybe I'm a biggest fan or something, but I actually see you getting back on track because with just me, your work ethics and your motivation, just on another level. You
I
know what I
know.
mean? So, I definitely see you getting back there
I
and
mean,
doing the thing,
it's funny when you say that. It's the same thing my booker said, but sometimes it's just like a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's not just about me
Mhm.
anymore. And then
Mhm.
so sometimes when you watch this or you watch our vlogs and you
Mhm.
see that I'm gone and Saf is then also them making the sacrifice to
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
be more present with the kids and everything. So Like in everything is give and take in every relationship. And when I talk about sacrifice and like how I feel down about it, I don't want anyone watching this and being
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, man, she should never done this for a softball or this,
Mm-hmm.
or, spin it in a negative outlook that like I hate him or, any
Mm-hmm.
of that stuff. It's not that. Like he was, I
No,
think
but
he said
yeah.
it perfectly with I
Mm-hmm.
have dreams and aspirations. And before I became a mom and a
Mm-hmm.
wife, I was Alicia. Like I had
Mm-hmm.
my own vision, and it's hard as a woman trying to balance and wear so
Mm-hmm.
many hats. And I know it's very important to still keep that aspect of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
but doing it from a different country even
Mm-hmm.
adds so many
Mm-hmm.
different
Yeah.
layers of
Yeah.
of
And
of climbing up.
and like, come on, if somebody don't understand this, they're just jerks. I don't want to say on this. Oh, I just said it. Yeah, but
Beep bleep.
we it goes it goes for everybody. In sports, women have to choose when they're going to sacrifice at
Mhm.
least 2 years to go have a baby to try and come back in the sports.
Right.
Some women have to sacrifice and say, yo, I'm going to wait until I'm 40 to try and
Mhm.
have a baby,
Kids.
have kids. So every women sacrifice a lot. And men, we just have to understand that women
Right.
sacrifice
And
a
I
lot.
think in the sense of the way you put it, I think it's like I was work ethic, I was winging it off of. Like I
Mm-hmm.
work hard, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think in a sense it's like I planned through all of it properly, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. And I'm the type of person where sometimes I'm like, I just let things happen organically. So I think, if anyone's watching this, probably the advice I would be able to give is just if you're making such a big sacrifice, plan, plan it. Like
Mm-hmm.
plan when you're gonna have the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Plan, okay, after I get married, I'm not gonna have kids until 3 years, or when I move, maybe I'm still
Two
gonna
of them
do
jump out though,
right. So that's what I'm saying
then
is
jump
like
out.
I think the reason why probably is very hard for me as well. I literally have like what, three under three
Mm-hmm.
now? Yeah, but I had them two under two. So it was very hard for me to make a lot of like my dreams a reality, even though they're not really gone. Like I said, I'm not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a lot of like I didn't plan properly,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Yeah, so I would give that to anyone that either you have to move far for love, family, all of this stuff. Just make sure that you still have like a plan set in place, because if not, it just, oh, I'll wait another 5 years, I'll wait another
Mm-hmm.
10 years, and everything just keeps going further and further away. And like I said, also give yourself grace. Have those times when you cry in the shower. Have those times
Mm-hmm.
when you're just not feeling good because you feel like, I would say sometimes I just feel like I'm losing a part of me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let's soon get back on track, man. Guys, tell her that she soon get back on track.
Anyway, just wanted to share that story for
Mm-hmm.
anyone going through it. We go through the
Mm-hmm.
motions and
Yeah, man.
just pray about it.
I'm sure a lot
And
of people, whether male or female, they're going through. They have to make
yeah,
sacrifices.
whether they want
You know.
that dream job or
Yeah.
to start their own business,
Yeah.
but you have to feed your family.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
yeah.
sometimes it's not even family. And sometimes they don't have a family, but you still have to make certain sacrifice to get where you
Mm-hmm.
want in life.
That's
You know.
true.
So
A
yeah,
word.
sacrifice is a must. You know what I mean?
And sacrifice
Definitely.
can be hard. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But yeah, we are going to end this off.
Yeah.
I hear the little one waking up around there. We're
Yes.
building a studio, so we won't have to
Woo!
worry about all these kids anymore and the noise and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So more exciting projects coming
yeah,
up.
yeah, man.
I know you guys love when we have guests, so trust me, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. But we really want all of that to happen when we have our studio set up,
Mm-hmm.
and gonna be
Yeah, man.
good.
Yeah, man. We'll have all of Jamaica and everything. All people who,
Try and have everybody,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
anyone, everyone.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks for joining us and continue to support the Fast Lane lifestyle. And we will see you guys soon. Don't miss a beat.